What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, we have our town hall, or at least my 5 biggest takeaways from the most recent town hall that took place on January 28th. Again, this is not a summary. There's actually great other content creators, both in writing and in video, all around that do fantastic jobs with putting together full summaries. For me, every week, I just like to come in and give you the 5 biggest takeaways or things that kind of popped out to me that, or at least caught my attention and I wanted to expound on a little bit more. Now, speaking of 5, I'm going to share my notes here with you, and I have way more than 5 because I don't know if you watched the town hall, but if you didn't, there was so much information. There was so much alpha leak in there, which was really, really crazy. At least stuff that really, really got me excited. And I keep saying really, so I'm going to take it down a notch. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive right in. I'm not gonna like dive super deep into all of these just because we have so many, and I want to keep it relatively short in terms of the video, and I don't want you guys to be here longer than the 2-hour town hall. Okay, so first one, they talked more about the rewards economy and how they're taking a further look. You know, I did a video recently based on the post that they had where they were making some changes, including adding the Chaos Legion packs over to the rewards, but they did say more changes were coming in. Now, what really stuck out to me, and I'm on the official blog post here, official Peak D blog of the Splinterlands team, is there were a couple things here. So goal is to encourage players to obtain as many assets and climb to the highest league as possible. So here is something that wasn't that's not written here but was said by Yaba Matt. They want to disincentivize people with multiple accounts to just be transferring assets. What they would like is to make the reward system or design a reward system so that you have the most incentive to stack one account with as much as possible, right? So I don't think that they're trying to get away from multiple accounts. Obviously, they're not anti-bot, but they want to reward those who are stacking as much as possible within one account and trying to do as much as possible within a season, right? So we've talked about what could potentially happen if they go beyond quests or secondary quests or things like that. Again, this is all speculation now from me, not the team, but based on what they have been talking about, I wouldn't be surprised to see certain things pop up where they want you to play more than just your daily quest, and they want you to try and get to the highest league as possible, right? Because right now, another issue that's tangentially related is the fact that people will jump up to the highest rating or league that they can, and then just rent their cards out and, chill, because what they would earn and the amount of time and energy that they would put in is just not worth it versus the amount that they could get from renting out their cards. Well, that's not terrible, but what the team really wants is for people to be playing as much as possible, right? So they're trying to create a reward system or redesign the reward system in order to do that, so that if you get up to this high level, there is still incentive. You can still earn something from there. You can still push higher and get more. So I'm really excited to see what that ends up looking like. I don't know when we're going to get more information on it, but the Chaos Legion packs are available now in the quests. And actually, speaking of which, I'm going to jump down to number 4. Again, I probably didn't. I ordered this as I was hearing it throughout the thing. So, but this is related. So number 4 is that they are estimating about 25 to 30,000 packs in reward chests per month. So that's not too much. In fact, over the course of a year, was that 360,000 or maybe 300 to 350,000 packs in 1 year if Chaos Legion doesn't sell out of a total of 15 million packs. So now we have a rough estimate of how many packs they believe are going to be in reward chests per month. It's not crazy, and it's actually kind of nice to be able to win this. I think for those who might be struggling to get packs, this is something, or at least an added incentive to do your daily quest, to finish that, and to get as many chests as possible, aka get to a higher level as well, because the chances of getting packs increase with each league that you go in, and even each intra league, right? So Silver 3 versus Silver 2 versus Silver 1, and then on and on for all the different leagues above that. Okay, so let's go ahead and then hop back to number 2. This was something that probably shouldn't have been talked about, and maybe if I was maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it because it's not confirmed yet, but they did leak or at least talk about a potential Imagine Dragons partnership. What I'm saying by it's not confirmed is the paperwork is not signed yet, and not that I'm trying to throw anybody under the bus here, but they talked about it, and then Agrod was like, yeah, it's not done yet, so okay, let's not say anything else more about that. But for me, what the takeaway from this is they've been talking about partnerships for a while. So to name drop a very, very, I would say A-list band and an artist to be working with, and I think the way that it's going to be is they're partnering up with them to do to be part of the tour and to be, I don't know if it's a sponsorship for the tour or whatever the case is, but I'm an Imagine Dragons fan, and dragons are a big part of this game. So there was a lot of talk after that. It wasn't as big of a deal in terms of it being, leaked out because everybody was kind of joking about it later. I think even Nate was saying something along the lines of they would need to create a card called the Imagine Dragon, and that, who knows what kind of powers it would have. But if this partnership goes through, again, it's just going to be cool to see how the in-game economy and ecosystem interacts with the real world, right? The Splinterlands metaverse or the Splinterverse will kind of be partnering up with different areas within the real world, IRL. So again, Imagine Dragons, they're pretty big for me. I think this is going to be awesome. And if this is just the start, if we're still in January and there's a lot more coming, I don't know, guys, that just gets me very, very excited. All right, number 3. This was, and I'm going to try and find the portion here. So this was, they announced it or framed it as a V2 or version 2 of Splinterlands is coming. Now, they're talking about this more broadly, and from the notes here, okay, here you go. They're currently building a team to develop and enhance the mobile app, right? So the big thing about this is that it's going to be designed mobile first. And I think the team very much understands, and they probably have understood for a while, but now they have the resources to actually implement something, knowing that mobile worldwide is the way to go. Right now, browser's fine, but most people, around the world, not everybody has access to a computer, but most people have access to a phone and apps and, one of the major operating systems out there. So this mobile first design to me, I think is incredibly important. And I'm glad that they are focusing on that because, again, we're trying to reach the masses here. How do we get somebody in a remote village in whatever part of the world who doesn't have a computer and whose life isn't primarily online, but they do have a phone and they do have, access to the internet. And now all of a sudden they could be earning stuff. So as crypto, as Bitcoin, as whatever, starts to integrate with the rest of the world and not just, in Western or first world or however you want to look at it, but it's really starting to impact people at all different levels within their respective economies. So getting this into mobile, I think, is going to be huge because the world is mobile ready. Many parts of the world have skipped the whole PC revolution and gone straight to mobile, which makes sense because it's cheaper, easier to produce. It's literally mobile. You can go anywhere with it. So to me, this is awesome. I'm very excited to hear this. Obviously, I don't expect much to happen this year as they are already saying Q4 is what the expected date would be. And it's for them, they're saying it's not the highest priority. And that's fine because I know that they're really trying to implement land, Rift Watchers, governance, all this other stuff first. But it's definitely good that they are trying to put some resources towards this. All right. Number 5, speaking of resources, I hadn't even gotten to this yet because it's the content amount has been so crazy, and maybe I'll do another video where we dive into this a little bit further. But there was a post recently officially by the team talking about wanting to build out an arcade, something that's easy for people to come into the economy and just play, right? They don't need to learn the full game. They don't need to understand the meta and buy the cards and all this stuff. They can just come in and play simple arcade games that could be enhanced or based around the lore, the intellectual property, and specifically maybe even the NFTs, right? So around the cards, maybe if you had certain cards, you play some type of, arcade game that could still be play to earn, but that would bring a lot more people into the ecosystem. So the long story short on this, or at least my opinion, long story short of this, is I love the idea. right? I love the idea because we want to get as many people into this Splinterlands ecosystem as possible. I talk about this game with pretty much everybody, but most people are not necessarily into arcade games. And some people, friends and family, whatever it is, they like simple arcade type games. Well, it's hard for me to tell them to get into Splinterlands because they need to understand, they need to invest in cards. They're not going to get the most out of it unless they fully dive into it. But if they can get into the Splinterlands ecosystem, playing a game like a Candy Crush or like an arcade style game, something that's, I don't want to say mindless, but similar to the games that people play and spend a lot of time on, but that are built within the Splinterlands ecosystem and that they can actually earn from, why wouldn't everybody come over, right? So we don't need everybody to be buying cards. We don't need everybody to be playing at the highest levels, but to have people be part of this ecosystem, to buy into it, to understand the values of SPS and again, it's like a gateway drug, right? People will come in and maybe they're not into card games and they never will be, but who knows what kind of value and utility SPS could have for the Candy Crush or the Angry Birds of Splinterlands, right? And actually, there's two ideas right there. Just rip off Angry Birds and use I don't know, Pelacor Mercenary. Just toss the dude over. So taking this back to what was talked about in the town hall, people, and my initial reaction was similar to this too, was like, this is a great idea, but there's so much that you guys are trying to implement. This seems like you are adding on a whole slew, right? You want to add on like arcade features to a game that we're already waiting on, very complex innovation on, such as land, such as the upcoming Rift Watchers, governance, like all these different things. It's just like, how big is this team? I know the team has gotten bigger, but how big is this team that we can now start to build an arcade around it? Well, Hardpoint addressed this head on, saying that less than 1% of the company resources were being dedicated to this. And this is more of an idea that they want to just attack whenever they can, whenever they have time. So to me, it was good to hear that in a sense, because it's like, okay, it's not taking away from the development on all the areas that, players have been patiently waiting for maybe years at this point since Land was first released, but has not been implemented, right? So I'm glad that they're taking a look at this. I'm glad that they have the extra resources that they can pop over and try to work on things here and there. And it's not going to be taking away so much from the main things that everybody, or at least all the primary player base is waiting for. All right, number 6. Rift Watchers is potentially coming in June or July per Aggroed. Again, guys, what I want to keep reminding you of is we were given another time frame, June and July. This is the time frame that I had in my mind, but keep in mind, we don't know. Everything could always get pushed back. Nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. And, it's just another reminder that things could always get delayed further. So I'm just trying to level set expectations here, because it was first initially announced for potentially March. They wanted it to be ready in March just in case the general sale sold out. Obviously, everybody was wrong about the general sale selling out in a day or even a week. We're here now sitting on almost 3 weeks, and it doesn't look like packs are going to be going anywhere near being sold out anytime soon. So that probably also put a little bit of the brakes on Rift Watchers. And I know that they said Q2, so I was always thinking the way back of Q2. Well, now all of a sudden we have June and July. So depending on how the first half of this year goes, the next couple of months, I think June and July is probably about right. That's going to fit in with the end of the airdrop. And I was thinking that Land would potentially come out at some point in Q3, which is, July is the start of Q3. But now if we're not getting Rift Watchers until June, July, I don't know that we'd be getting Land until September, right? So again, this is all speculation on my part, but I'm just letting you know how the timeline has shifted, and there's valid reasons for it, right? They would have pulled up, I believe they would have pulled up Rift Watchers had the packs completely sold out, but we're nowhere near that, and we're very much in this kind of boring phase, accumulation phase within Splinterlands, where as long as you're showing up and doing the work, you are going to continue to acquire assets in game. And I think this is a perfect time. I really do, because the next point, number 7, major exchanges in talks. When this happens, there could be a massive pump in price. I don't believe from a fundamentals, right? From a token fundamental standpoint, I don't believe major exchange listings will will provide sustained growth. We might see some massive pump, but I do believe we will see a dump as people try to exit out of positions or at least get their money back, right? Because how many people bought in SPS at $1 thinking that it was going to $10 and are now down, 80+%, fed up with the game. They don't care about it. They realize they don't really like the game and they are just down so much on their money that they are going to be selling as soon as we pump up back or close to near $1. I would bet you that there is a significant portion of people, right? I don't know if it's a majority, but I would say a significant portion of investors who probably feel that way. And therefore, I think that any kind of sustained growth is going to be coming from the utility that is given to SPS. And that is going to take time. We know it's coming, but it is going to take time. So these major exchanges that are in talks, again, I'm excited for, and I think it'd be great. And if we do pump, I might exit a little bit of my SPS position, but more so just because I might be rediversifying into other projects or other crypto, whatever it is. But for me, the major exchanges is exciting. I don't think that leads to sustained growth though. But hey, could be a good way to make a flip and make some money. And I do not judge how you make your money. So just letting you know how I feel about the long-term health of that. All right, number 8, no SPS staking needed to earn SPS rewards. This was tackled head on by Yabamat. And I know that there are some other folks who have been talking about this. I think Dwayne has mentioned that, you're going to need SPS staked in order to earn the SPS rewards. Now, keep in mind, I'm mentioning Dwayne, but I've heard Dwayne say this, and I was under the same impression. I just hadn't thought too broadly about it, and honestly, it made sense, right? That you need to be staking SPS. So now that we know that that's not the case, right? So now that we've been given some specifics from that, and specifically from Matt, that will not be the case. I think that that's awesome, actually, because even though I do stake SPS and I have my bag and I want to increase it, and I feel like it would drive value to SPS to make it, you can only earn it through that way. The way that Matt described it was, well, if you don't have SPS, this is a way to earn it, right? So you don't need to have something to earn it. This is very much kind of like democratizing it and making it available, equality of opportunity, where it's just like, it doesn't matter how much SPS you own, you can earn SPS. That's the idea behind it. And having heard him explain it in that way, I love it. Freaking love it. Okay. The last thing here in all our talks about SPS utility and by extension, Voucher Utility, we heard that there is a potential voucher store coming to the shop, right? This is exciting because we've seen the voucher price kind of increase a little bit. I believe it was like over $1.50 today, up from $1.10 or $1.20. So that's actually a significant increase. That's almost like a 50 or 40% increase. So what's fascinating to me and what I'm excited about is the fact that giving vouchers utility through these special promotional cards, promotional deals, whatever the case is, and having like a shop or store in the shop where you have to use vouchers, right? And it's probably going to be vouchers and something else, vouchers and DEC or SPS or credits, but you will need a voucher. That to me is going to give a tremendous amount of utility to vouchers. So that then by extension gives a tremendous amount of utility to SPS. You should be staking as much SPS as possible to be earning vouchers. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't know how many vouchers are going to be required, but to me, that says a lot. And there was even a post. I was thinking about doing a video on it, but I need to find the actual comment. Nate talked about vouchers as well and how he's buying vouchers. Again, it's not financial advice. He even said it was not financial advice, but it just makes you think about what is potentially coming that is going to be behind that voucher gate, right? So I love it. I think it's a great idea. And again, that just gets me excited for everything that is coming this year. We are only, not even 1 month down, but I feel like there is just so much happening. We had the big Chaos Legion launch, and ultimately it didn't end up selling out, which is good for the long-term health of the game. As the player base continues to grow, there will be packs available, but not just that. It seems like there's going to be so much with this potential arcade. I don't know, guys. I'm excited. It was such a fun town hall to listen to, packed with so much information. And I know that there's not going to be a town hall next week, so the team is traveling. But hopefully, once they resume in 2 weeks, and I believe it's going to be on Wednesdays now, which hopefully should make it easier for people to attend or listen to, or at least for the team to do, so that they're not spending their Friday afternoons or evenings or mornings with this. So that's all I have for you guys in this video today. If you can't tell how pumped I am about this, well, then then yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more pumped I can be. But it was a fantastic town hall. Excited for what's in store. Excited for what was discussed. I do have to give the caveat again that until things are actually finalized and written down in an official post or a white paper, we don't, we can't hold them to it. They're just sharing this information with us as we go along. So don't base your life savings and your biggest life decisions on what you hear in the town hall. Wait to get some confirmation if you're going to be making decisions that big. But again, at the end of the day, you do you, just trying to share the information. This is all I have for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.